Garrison calls me up with his narcissistic attitude.
Kody Brown has been unpopular with Sister Wives viewers for a while, but one of his recent comments has left people absolutely furious.
The American people don't just go, dude, you're grossing us out so bad we can't.
Kody shockingly referred to his son as a narcissist in a recent episode of Sister Wives, and after Garrison, Janelle's 23-year-old son with Kody, disowned his dad, Kody couldn't believe it. So allegedly, after Garrison's announcement to his dad over the phone, Kody called Janelle and demanded that she kick out Garrison and his brother Gabriel, and Janelle claimed that she thought Kody's threat was hilarious because he isn't even on her lease and can't actually make that decision. And the part that upsets viewers the most, however, is how Kody sees the situation. So while talking to the camera, Kody mocked his son for having what he calls a narcissistic attitude, and the crazy twist in all of this is that clearly, if anyone is a narcissist, it's definitely Kody. I mean, he displays every single trait of a narcissist. He's even shown all of the main narcissistic characteristics on Sister Wives, which I'm about to break down thanks to a video from Med Circle and Dr. Ramini.
The first one's lack of empathy. Okay. And that's a defining characteristic. That's a defining characteristic of narcissism.
And the amount of times Kody has shown a major lack of empathy is unreal, and how he handled the situation with Isabel wanting to go back to school showed the trait to an extreme. Kody didn't understand why Isabel would want to return to school for her senior year, and even declared that he wasn't going to see her if she did go back, and this probably hurt Isabel so much, especially since her father had also refused to go to her spine surgery, and allegedly Kody didn't want to jeopardize his rules during the pandemic, and in order to keep Robin's kids safe, he decided not to go to his daughter's major surgery, and not being there for your own child during her scary medical procedure definitely seems to be a clear lack of empathy on Kody's part again, and the defining trait hasn't only been apparent with just his kids though, as his wives have seen it many times.
Where the thing that I struggle with most is when I feel like I don't have a say, or when I feel like I'm not as important.
So Kody's total disinterest in being physically or emotionally connected to Christine also displayed a lack of empathy, and he continued to blame only Christine for the breakdown of their marriage instead of accepting his part in it. And I mean, she was disappointed by her husband not wanting to be intimate with her, and Kody showed no compassion, which was unbelievable.
The second is entitlement. Entitlement is that sense that somehow someone should deserve special treatment, even if it's to the detriment of other people. And
without a doubt, Kody seems to believe that he deserves special treatment. His beliefs, as well as the whole basis of the show, proves that Kody believes that he's, got certain rights above other people. And we have all heard him say that once Christine leaves, the family is going back to a patriarchy, whatever that means. And I mean, he's got 4 wives who aren't allowed to have other husbands. And besides that, there are so many instances that show Kody's entitlement. And the fact that Kody feels like he's the one who gets to make the rules and decisions for the entire family, and they should just follow them, honestly screams entitlement. And the wives have to deal with and adapt to so much while Kody calls the shots. And one of the biggest examples of this trait was shown when Kody put his strict COVID rules in place. And Kody claimed that the rules he made during the pandemic were there to keep everyone safe, and he seemed to pick and choose whose rules applied to who. And allegedly, he didn't see some of his kids for almost a year because of what he considered health concerns. And meanwhile, Kody's staying almost exclusively at Robin's house, and she was allowed to hire a nanny who left the house daily and eventually did expose them to the virus. And during that time, Kody justified any complaint he was facing from his other wives and kids by saying that, the rules were in place to keep the family safe, so why was it okay for him and Robin to have a nanny when he wasn't even around to help with other kids?
The third is grandiosity. It's sort of an unrealistic assessment of one's capacity or abilities, or they talk about a grandiose world that they don't even live in.
And one of the most notable examples of Kody's narcissism is his dream of building a development, which he planned to do on their land in Coyote Pass. And Kody had big plans of having a single property for the entire family to live on, and they even spent over $800,000 in the undeveloped land. And it seemed like Coyote Pass, had been left in the dust because of how rarely it's talked about now. And it's been, 4 years since the land purchase, and and there haven't even been any building permits approved yet, and Kody isn't ready to give up on his dream though, and still plans on making it, come true in the future.
Well, I don't want to give any season spoilers, but I start to motivate everything, so I'm going to look for 5 lots and 5 homes.
And at first, Kody even wanted to just build one huge house for everyone on the land, and other than Janelle, the other wives didn't agree with his plan, which Kody struggled with, and he even admitted that he expected it to be easier to keep his wives happy. Another moment from the show that portrays Kody's, grandiosity is one that he even admitted to maybe being delusional about. A few years ago, Kody decided that he wanted to run for office in Utah, and he held a family meeting to announce his crazy plan, and he even said that he might be suffering delusions of grandeur, but he still wanted to move everyone back to Utah, where they had essentially been kicked out of, and that definitely seemed like a totally insane dream, as well as an example of, Kody's grandiosity. And it just seems like Kody's always introducing some insane new dream that he has to get everyone's hopes up, only to never deliver them, and then move to another new dream, and I'm sure it's only a matter of time until he gives up on Coyote Pass.
Number 4 is superficiality. There's a very vapid quality to narcissism.
And Kody's concern about appearances was made incredibly clear in the family's memoir, Becoming Sister Wives, the story of an unconventional marriage. Kody detailed an instance when he watched Christine eat at some gas station nachos, and he unbelievably admitted that he was disgusted by her. Kody revealed in the book that he believed Christine was cute, but even though she was, in his own words, chubby, he then confessed that seeing her eat chili, cheese nachos in his car made him realize that he wasn't attracted to her at all. And as rough as that sounds, it gets even worse, because not only did Kody realize he didn't find Christine attractive, but the nacho incident even made him second guess wanting to marry her. And he claims that he's, less superficial than he used to be, but I have a hard time believing that, since he hasn't really seemed interested in Christine for a long time. And I honestly can't believe how horrible that is, and the fact that Kody put it in the family's memoir is seriously so humiliating to Christine. And another example of Kody's oddness could be his expensive wristwatch collection. And even though he and Robin are allegedly in quite a bit of debt, some people have recently spotted, some costly matching watches on the pair, and a social media user pointed out that it looks like they're wearing Tag Heuer watches, which cost between $2,500 and $5,000 a piece. And of course the watches could be a gift, but if not, that is a big amount of money to put towards accessories when you have 18 kids and a bunch of debt.
Number 5 is chronic seeking of admiration or validation. It's the constant need to be receiving praise, recognition.
And Kody's need for attention was put on blast by his high school friends during an episode earlier in the series, when Kody and his wives and their children returned to his hometown in Wyoming, and the friends that he had in high school revealed some crazy details about Kody's earlier life. In the beginning, Kody looked happy to be around his old friends and his wives, until some shocking information came out, and one woman called Kody a genius for coming up with a way to get what he's always wanted, which was being the center of attention. And allegedly, the genius way of always getting attention was by having 4 wives. However, once Kody started getting negative attention from his old friends, he no longer wanted to talk about it. And another huge example of Kody wanting admiration and validation in his marriage to Robin. She is without a doubt Kody's favorite wife, and Robin agrees with Kody a lot of the time and obeys his rules. And anytime Kody is criticized, he gets upset or walks away, because it isn't the praise and acceptance that he's looking for, in which Robin usually provides him.
Number 6 is their tendency to rage. They don't have good command of their emotions. They tend to be all over the map, and the one emotion they tend to manifest the most often is uncontrolled rage.
And Kody's had plenty of tantrums on the show and seems so angry at times, which he even admitted to recently.
I'm watching it and I'm going, holy cow, why am I so angry? Why am I in this bad place? And as we broadcast it to the whole world, I'm like, gosh, I really have got to calm down.
And most recently, it was Robin who surprisingly accused Kody of being an angry man, and she blamed the other relationships for causing Kody stress, but that doesn't mean that he shouldn't be able to control his emotions. And during the trailer for season 17, everyone witnessed Kody's intense rage as he screamed at Christine for deciding to leave him, and even after she tried to have a civil conversation with him about why she was choosing to leave, he kept getting upset and turning his narcissistic anger onto her. And it's no surprise that Kody revealed in a confession confessional that Kody wasn't a safe person to her, but it is incredibly sad. And Kody's temper was also seen in the later part of season 16. Kody and Gabe met to try to work out their differences, but Kody absolutely exploded in rage, and Gabe was able to get his feelings out clearly without freaking out on his dad, but Kody couldn't do the same, and he kept getting mad and interrupting Gabe, who astonishingly reminded Kody that he could talk about his feelings without being so angry, and this is a clear example of Kody's narcissistic rage.
And number 7, I'd really say, is arrogance. It's, I'm better than you.
And Kody's belief that he's better than anyone else is plain as day, and his role in his family is basically put him up on a pedestal where his wives have to listen to his final say, and his kids don't seem to deserve his time. And the fact that he won't take any accountability for his marital issues and only seems to fault his wives is a huge example of Kody's arrogance, and his recent outrageous revelations about parenting speaks to his narcissism as well. I mean, Kody unbelievably admitted that he almost never watches his kids, and even though he claimed that he's good at it, the whole reason that Robin has a nanny, even though Kody is home a lot, is allegedly because he's too busy to watch the kids. And Christine shared, something insane about Kody that shows he thinks his time is more important than anyone else's, and it's seriously insane. And according to Christine, she asked for help watching their kids when she was pregnant with Truly, and Kody refused. And he claimed that he couldn't help her watch his own children because he had to check on the other houses, and instead of, parenting his own kids, Kody can't even stoop to the level of babysitting them because it's easier to hire a nanny. And I can't believe that he doesn't seem to care about creating bonds with his kids, but I guess that might just be part of his narcissism. And now that the 7 key traits of narcissism have all been uncovered, as well as how they fit Kody's bizarre behavior, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Garrison's decision to cut ties with Kody, and do you think of Kody as a narcissist? Let me know in the comments.